Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to the council and to the mayor. What they're trying to do here is to build a new addition to the power plant. And we have to think about why, as I understand it, we're basically all against this power plant here in Carlsbad. We don't want the extra pollution or any of the other things that are going to be tied with it. But if we look back to the Great Blackout of September 2011, what happened was some stupid in Arizona flipped a switch and it cascaded all the way to San Onofre, which went down for about 3 days. A couple of years ago we had wildfires. San Onofre went down for about a week, I think it was. If we have an earthquake, San Onofre is going to go down. It's about 15 miles north of here. We call it Fukushima USA. And if we have a meltdown there, we're going to lose Carlsbad. So this is all tied together because San Onofre needs about, I think it's 20 or 30 megawatts of off-site power in order to operate. It produces 1,100 megawatts, I believe is the approximate number per reactor, and each one needs 20 or 30 megawatts of off-site power. So what the CEC, what everybody wants to do is to build a closer backup system for San Onofre. So it's going to be very difficult to stop this project unless we get that one closed. Well, it turns out we're all trying to get that one closed anyway, and we may succeed. But what we're really going to need is we're going to need Carlsbad to do what we're trying to do anyway, you mentioned it tonight, is go green. The facility, the transmission lines that come in here, they're not going to go away. They're not going to get replaced by other transmission lines. So what we really need to consider is off-site wave energy units that then come into here and provide us with clean energy, and all the other systems, the ones that you were mentioning, the green buildings, everything that we need to do. If we don't do this, then other cities like Encinitas or somebody else can go to the CEC or whoever and say, no, we need them to build that power plant for us. And although we here in Carlsbad say, you no longer need it on the coast, they're going to say, yeah, but that's where the transmission lines are, so you got to build it there. So if we want to stop this project, we're going to have to go green, and we're going to have to support getting rid of San Onofre, which we should do. I've got about 30 years of computer programming experience writing brain fitness programs, educational software that uses animation for adults. And one of the things that I've done is write assembler language programs. Now, there was a virus about a couple of years ago called Stuxnet that was fed into the Iranian nuclear facility there. Unfortunately, Stuxnet is publicly available and can be modified and will be modified, and San Onofre is vulnerable. Any nuclear power plant. In fact, a Venezuelan diplomat was kicked out of America for apparently, allegedly working with Iranians to sabotage our nuclear facilities. The last thing I wanted to mention was that Elmo Collins, the head of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission here, just fined another facility $140,000 because their workers were playing brain fitness games in the control room. And it's not just a small thing. They were, getting on the internet and playing sports games and looking at news videos and YouTube videos and so forth. 9 employees there were doing that. This is the same guy that's in charge of our nuclear power plant at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, fined him $140,000. But the last point I want to note is that this is a chart of the allegations from various nuclear power plants, all of the nuclear power plants in the country, and ours is not only the worst, it's like twice as bad as any of the others. So the one that was fined isn't even, we're way worse than that. I wrote a book a couple of years ago. After all my work doing educational software, I wrote a book, and this is kind of backwards, but so I'm going to leave a copy of this, and it discusses the dangers of the nuclear power plant and what happened in Fukushima and some of the ways we can get green here in Carlsbad and solve all our problems. Get rid of the power plant, get rid of that one, and everything will be nice. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Questions?
I wish I could ask a question.